How can someone help you get reelected?
Um, Voting is the biggest thing. It's just vote for me. Other than that, I would say, I'll have some volunteer opportunities and things like that for people to engage with my campaign. And that's the biggest ways, and just, spread the word. Like, vote for Terrell,
Yeah.
because I like you asked earlier, why? I'm going to fight for you. Like, I ain't about to sit up here and make a bunch of, like, wild promises and things like that. I'm going to just tell you, like, I'm going to try to be as true to my word as possible and fight for the community. Be unapologetic about it. And I know in all my life, I've been a black man in America, and why should I be apologetic to people who have never cared about us? And why should we?
It's good. Man, this has been very touching, man. I want to thank you, man, first and foremost, for everything you've done thus far, man. Do you have anything that you want to specifically say intentionally, like, to our community, like, besides what you've already said?
I mean, I'll say I'm running for office running for re-election to, see these things through, because I don't think we're finished. And I don't think the things that I've done have been enough. And I don't think it'll ever be enough, which is why I have to keep fighting. And we'll always have to keep fighting, because we can't get complacent and think that's enough or it'll be all right. Because the second we do that is when we start to lose even more. And I just tell the people in the community that, I'm running for re-election because I know we're not done, and I know we have to continue to fight. And we need somebody in Lincoln that's going to fight for North Omaha and be unapologetic about it.
You look to for guidance.
Uh, my inspiration, I'm a big Tupac fan. You know, Tupac, I would say, this gentleman right here, Malcolm X, he's from North Omaha.
Yeah.
And his story is a story of perseverance and overcoming, and not being what people think you should be.
Yeah.
I'll try to listen to his speeches and things like that. It's a mix of people. I don't know if I could say one person or two people. I try to go back and listen to all of our ancestors and try to get an understanding of, their philosophies and their perspectives. Marcus Garvey.
Yep. You just took the words off my brain. I was going to say Marcus Garvey.
We share the same birthday. So,
I didn't even know that.
yeah, it's crazy.
That's deep.
Yeah, so.
Pan-Africanism. He is the founder of it.
Yeah.
So he the one that gave us our flag, right?
Red, black, and green.
Yep.
Yeah, so it's a few people, I get a lot of, advice from Senator Wayne as well. I'm glad he's been in Lincoln as well with me, because he, understands the system, and it's good to have a brother in there with you that, y'all can bounce ideas off of, and, also have somebody to understand where you're coming from.
Mm-hmm. So this question I'm going to ask you is real deep. What would you want your legacy to be?
I would say, as far as my legacy, what do I want it to be? Biggest thing for me is, somebody that fought for North Omaha, and somebody that, once I'm gone, was able to change the trajectory of our community in a positive way, especially economically. Because, I could say a lot of things, but it's not about me. It's about, hopefully, by the time I'm finished in the legislature, our community is moving in a better direction. So I would say my legacy, I don't really think about it too much. I guess it's just Terrell, fought for the people. That's the biggest thing, like, he fought.
So what's your experience with the LB 1024?
So my experience with that was, working with Senator Wayne and crafting that legislation to try to get some resources to the community. The American Rescue Plan was passed, otherwise known as ARPA, and we got together. It was like, hey, we got to put a plan together. So we started looking at all the plans for North Omaha over the past 30 plus years of like, we need to do this to revitalize it or whatever. And some had some good ideas, and we took the bits and pieces of the ideas and we put the plan together. We went to the legislature and asked for $450 million. And everybody was looking at us like, y'all crazy. Like, it's a lot of people that would say we might only get like 5 or 10 million. But we knew after even digging through those plans, digging through the data, that it made sense. It was hard to argue against, honestly, if you really think about it. When you think about the historical inequities in North Omaha at the time. So then once we got the bill introduced, we had an amazing hearing. And going through the process, South Omaha got attached to it. So it's now the North and South Omaha Economic Recovery Plan. And then we went through a process where the legislature hired a firm to kind of study both areas, North and South Omaha, look at the data, and try to understand what people wanted. And then people were allowed to apply, submit their proposals to that organization to be evaluated. And then that organization at the end of the year gave us recommendations to look at. A lot of people think myself and other senators on a committee evaluated those proposals. Honestly speaking, I probably only have looked at, and it was after they came out, I probably only read like 2 or 3 proposals of anybody. And it was 367 proposals submitted, which was close to like $3 billion of requests. So then those came out, and then I had to introduce another bill, LB 531, to give the Department of Economic Development direction as far as executing the program. So then that was passed, and then just this last year to the other organization. But even a part of that, it was multiple things. So there was a grant within it for crime prevention and mentorship, Innovation Hub, which is also another bill that I had passed to create an Innovation Hub program in North Omaha. And what that would do is place an Innovation Hub would be a space where if you wanted to get in business, this is my vision of it, if you wanted to get in business, you could go to the Innovation Hub and get help. No matter if you've been in business for 5 years or no years, you could go get help and engage with people to understand how to run a successful business. Because I think a lot of times our people get in business and don't know the front and back ends of what it means or what you need to run a successful business. And I think that was very important. If I'm going to be out here saying we need economic equity and development, I also need to figure out a way to make sure that we're equipping our community with the tools to run successful business. And that was the reason for the Innovation Hub. There's also a plan to do the airport park for a business park and bring jobs to the community. That's another piece to it. And then another piece is it was this capital construction grant, which was a part of ARPA, and to do a multi-purpose facility based around sports and community wellness, and try to have, because we was just talking about how do we kind of solve some of the issues. We need those type of places where our kids could go, our families could go to engage with each other on a more common level, and that's a piece too.
So would you say that those things would help prevent a lot of these young people killing each other? Like, would you say those are some of the ideas that you want to implement?
I think it'll help. I think we would be fools to say it would ever stop it from ever happening. Because I think sometimes people act as if young people wasn't killing. Not to say it was ever right or it's ever acceptable, but it's been happening. So I don't know if we could ever get to 100%. That's the goal. But we gotta also be honest with ourselves. People make mistakes. I don't know if it would ever just be 100% never gonna happen
Cease,
again.
yeah.
Yeah. But I would hope that. I would hope so. Like, I think that's what we aspire to is that no black kid is killing another black kid, or no black man is killing another black man, or a black woman, or just any of that mix, or anybody, period. Just, so hopefully.